All right, everybody, we're on day 9, Math Fluency, where we need to multiply 15 times 3, and then we have to use models or visuals, write a story, and then explain how we know our answer is correct. The first thing I noticed when I saw this, though, is that 15 times 3 is something that it's a bit bigger than we normally multiply together. 15 is what I would consider a 4th grade multiplication number, and we have to do this using our 3rd grade skills because normally we just stop at 12. So my use any strategy section is going to use distributive property. The reason I'm doing that is because I want to break up the 15 into smaller, easier to do chunks. So here's what we remember from our board work when we were in class. 15 is the same as 10 plus 5. Hopefully everybody recognizes that that is true. 10 plus 5 makes 15. So what I want to do is I want to use that information to create a multiplication sentence that makes it a little bit easier for me to do. I'm going to leave the times 3 section alone. I'll leave that alone because times 3 is something that we've done. We know how to do this. It works for us. And I'm going to use my parentheses. Instead of doing 15 times 3, I'm going to do 10 times 3. And then I'm going to add that to 5 times 3. So what I did was I left the 3 alone right there and right there. And I broke the 15 into a 10 and a 5. So now all I need to do is multiply 10 times 3, which is 30. Multiply 5 times 3, which is 15. And then add those two together to find the answer to 15 times 3. So if I do 30 plus 15, my final answer is going to be 45. The method I chose to use was distributive property. So breaking up that 15 into smaller chunks, a 10 and a 5, and multiplying the 10 times 3 and the 5 times 3. Now there are different ways you can use models or visuals to explain this. And I thought, I'm going to show you 2 separate ways that you can explain this using models or visuals. The first way to explain this using models or visuals is to do it like the math page that was part of the day 9 math, and make arrays. Now instead of trying to make 15 rows of 3, I'm going to show a model that explains this distributive property here. Now I could make an array that is 15 rows of 3. I've just chosen not to because I want to explain to those of you who still don't quite get this distributive property why it works. So what I want to do is I want to make an array of 10 times 3 over here. And then I want to make a second array that is a 5 times 3 array down here. And then once I've made those 2 arrays, I'll show you how they work together to make 15 times 3 or to get the same answer. Okay, I'm going to start with 10 times 3, or 10 rows of 3. That's my first row. Second row, third row, fourth row, fifth row. It should be nice and neat and orderly, which mine is not, but I'm trying. Sixth row, seventh row, eighth row, ninth row, And finally, row number 10. 10 times 3. 10 times 3 makes this array. And if you count up all the dots, you should find that I have 30 dots going on here. 10 times 3 makes 30. Now I'm going to make a second array. This array is going to be my 5 times 3 array. So I need 5 rows of 3. One row. Whoops. Wrong tool. Hang on a sec. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to do this in green. I need 5 rows of 3. 1, first row, second row, third row, fourth row, fifth row. Okay, 5 rows of 3. If you count only the green dots, you'll find I have 15. So my top array, 10 times 3 made 30. My bottom array, 5 times 3 made 15. And if you look, it's just exactly like what I did over here. 10 times 3 makes 30. 5 times 3 makes 15. And why did I choose the 10 and the 5? Because I was trying to break up this 15 into smaller chunks. I broke up the 15 into a 10 and a 5, a 10 times 3 array, and a 5 times 3 array. Now, if I take my 30 dots and add 15 more dots, just like when I added 30 and 15 over here, you'll find that I have 45 dots. So my final answer is going to be 45. Now that's one way to do it with visuals. Let me show you another way. You guys remember how we do base 10 blocks, right? Base 10 blocks. Let's take this down a little bit. Base 10 blocks look like this. 10s look like sticks, and 1s look like little dots, right? Okay, I'm going to use base 10 blocks here, and I'm going to create 15. 10 and 5 1s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the reason I made 15 is because of this number right here. Now, the times 3 means I'm going to do this 3 times. So one more time here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And one more time here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what I've made is 15 3 times. Now I just want to count it all up together. And the first thing that I notice when I go to count them all up together is that I have a lot of 1s going on over here. So what that means is I have enough to do some regrouping. Remember, if you have enough 1s to make a 10, then do it. Make a 10. And I do have enough 1s to make a 10. I have 5 here, and I have 5 here. I can get rid of those and turn them into a 10 stick instead. That leaves me with 5 1s down here. Okay, well, I don't have enough to make another 10, so I guess I'm done doing that. I have 5 1s down here. And now that I've done this whole regrouping business where I got rid of 10 1s and turned it into a 10 stick, I had 3 10s, but now I have an extra one. Now I have 4 10s. And there it is. So each way I've done it, distributive property, I got 45. Using my array model, I got 45. And using my base 10 model, I got 45. So no matter how I did it, I got 45. Now I need to write a story. And remember, times, multiplication, even division, these are equal group stories. So remember, you've got to think of groups of things. You need to think of some kind of a container because we are going to have 15 containers. And then we're going to have 3 somethings in those containers. So if I were going to write a story, I might start with the dog has 15, and now I need to think of a container. Well, a hole can be a container. So let's pretend I've got a dog who's got 15 holes in the yard. Now, in each container, he needs to put 3 things. Well, dogs like to bury bones, so I'm going to go ahead and say that it buried 3 bones in each hole. Now I just have to write my question, and my question is, how many bones? There we go. How many bones are there in all? Now, when you go to write your story, see if you can change it up a little bit. Don't use a dog. Use something else. You do have to use the 15. You do have to use the 3. But make your container something different. Make your bones something different. See if you can change up your story a little bit. You do have to use the 15. You do have to use the 3. And remember, you should be making equal groups in here, not a sum some more. Now we get to the part where we can write how we know our answer is correct. Again, I'm going to give you a sentence frame. I know my answer is correct because, and then I'm going to have you finish on your own. But just like the last time I did one of these, I'm going to give you some hints, helpful hints. One helpful hint is, don't forget that if you did it like me, I used distributive property. I also used an array model, and I also used a base 10 model. So if you are going to say something to explain how you know your answer is correct, you could use these terms in your explanation. If I were going to write it, it might sound something like this. I know my answer is correct because I solved the problem using the distributive property, comma. I made a base 10 model over here, comma, and I made an array model, period. So it might sound something like that. Or I could say, I could pick just one, and I could say, I know my answer is correct because I use the distributive property. I decomposed the 15 into a 10 and a 5. I multiplied 10 times 3, and I multiplied 5 times 3, and I added those two together to get 45. So you could go and really describe one of your methods, or your sentence could explain how you used all 3. I'm going to let you finish your sentence to explain how you know your answer is correct. And again, if you have any questions, make sure to post them in Google Classroom.